He had the Trouser Trout blues long.
Oh, I had the Trouser Trout blues.
One time.
If you want to hear that story live, I'll be happy to tell you.
You should tell that one.
It's writing itself.
Can we get up in the morning?
The song is writing itself as we speak.
Quiet, I vote Democrat. I always jack the thermostat. I sleep all day just getting fat. Purring like a tabby cat. God help you walk home after dark. The lights go out and I find my bar. Howling songs, breaking cards, upsetting all your apples.
Started out as a duo about 8 or 9 years ago, and then sort of transitioned through a few different song styles as I learned to play and write music. And then I guess it was 5 or 6 years ago that we solidified at least.
I walked into a bar and saw these guys and went, oh, I would love to be in this band. And the thing that really got me was Joan's ability to write these songs. And I was listening to these songs that she had written, and I was like, wow. So
How can I get in on that?
how can I get in on that?
And then our old washboard player wound up doing something else just ahead of a Halloween party that we had to play. And so Michelle, would you mind stepping in as a washboard player?
Can you play washboard? I guess.
And she picked it up like a friggin' octopus star that she is. And that was just amazing. And then Mark, we belong to the same music club in Dundas. And so I knew we needed someone to play solos because I can't. And so I just kind of went up to him one day. Oh, did I write to you?
Yeah.
I wrote to him because I was afraid to go up to him.
Well, actually, my wife and I were at the open mic, and I usually run the bar there. So I'm a member of the Oddfellows Lodge, and we run the event, and I usually run the bar. But we had somebody else there that night, so I was actually sitting with my wife watching the music. It was a rare occasion, and I was really enjoying it. And Joan and Bob and Michelle got up, the three of them, and I think you had a guitar player with you.
Maybe.
And I think it was just the trio. They got up and you did Possum Billy Queen. And we were driving home, and my wife said, "Boy, that song Joan did was fantastic." I said, "Yeah, I really like that." I said, "I could really hear some saxophone in that." She says, "Yeah, that'd be a great band for you to play." And I said, "Yeah, that'd be fun." Yeah. And
About a year ago, I guess. That was a long time ago.
Last summer.
It was last summer. I wrote to Jonathan and said, "Would you consider?" And he was like, maybe, you know. And so we waited for a while, and then Jonathan and I we belonged to the same song circle at Dundas. And I played, was it Whoa Nelly? I think it was Whoa Nelly. And Jonathan played along. And I'm going to ask that guy again. I'm going to ask him again, and he's just going to have to say yes. And he did. We're so grateful.
Yeah.
We are grateful.
Yeah, it's been very fun.
2,000 miles.
Traveling round LA bound, 'cause even socks need to get their kicks. Oh, I want.
So I was hiking with my kid in the woods many, many years ago. This was like a decade ago, maybe. And my kid's like a hobbit, knows everything, learned everything in school. They had a really great teacher. And knows all of the plants. And there was this really cool speckled plant. I'm like, "What's that, Frippo?" And Frippo's like, "That's a trout lily." I'm like, "That is a great name for a band." And then years later, I'm like, "Well, we got a band. What are we going to call it?" Trout Lily.
Our trout fits, putting on the trout fits, give us, I know for me personally, it gives me my courage, you know, when I put the outfit on, and especially for Joan and I, we put on our boots. I could show you our boots, our great big boots. But they give us, I don't know, it just changes your persona. It feels more powerful. You feel more courageous. And I honestly say, I never get butterflies. I never feel nervous going on stage because it's almost like a whole different persona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's mine, of course. He's one tough cookie, the apple of my eye. But with every nibble, he goes straight to my thighs. Whoa, they're getting bigger with every passing day, but still a belly up to that long buffet.
And I have to talk about, it's not a pre-gig ritual, but it's a rehearsal ritual. We always have to have chips. I bring the chips.
Oh yes, there's the
Yeah.
Trout Lily chip.
You know,
It's
it's all dressed.
See, all dressed.
Miss Piggy's all dressed.
You will never live this down.
So, no, I mean, you know, we have our trout fits, so I'm packing up and I'm looking, I packed my blazer and I got my bow tie and my hat and I grabbed my pants and I put them in there. And we are at,
Well, maybe this is Jonathan's first time hearing this story. Okay.
so we are at a retirement village and I go into the bathroom to change. And as I am putting on the pants and pulling up the pants, I realize, hey, these are not my pants. These are my wife's black pants. I am walking out of there, and I look like I'm out of an 80s hairband.
Yeah, it's so true.
Wife is diamond spoken these 4 lines before I do. May I always help you forward all the days that I can count. May I always do what's right and not just what I want. May my love for you be greater than my need will ever be. I love you just the way you are, and that's okay with me.
And these things are so tight, but I have no other choice because the pants that I wore there were not suitable for playing in. Therefore, I did the entire show in a pair of pants that looked like they were painted on me. And I was always wondering why all the women were going,
At the end of the show, a few of these senior ladies in the crowd said to me, "Yeah, who's that man wearing the nice hat?" And I was like, "That's my husband. I'll have you know."
oh my goodness.
I love you just the way you are, and that's okay with me. February blues, there's ice in my shoes. You'll have to excuse the length of my fuse, but I get this way every February.
I mean, you can tell already that we're pretty darn nerdy, but we love that about each other and we feel super comfortable with one another. And I was just saying to Joan, like, we feel super comfortable just being the full expression of ourselves, and we're very accepting of one another and, you know, all the bumps and mistakes, and, you know, we're pretty open to everything, and that's what makes it work. So if you could listen to our rehearsal recordings, it's pure joy. Like, we're giggling, we're laughing, we're, you know, laughing at our mistakes, laughing at, you know, all the quirkiness that we are, and
And when we nail an ending, it's just
joy, the joy.
joy. So
Yeah. And so I think that's what we've learned, is how precious things can be when you're in a group and you just, the vibe is just so positive and joyful and rare, and we're just so happy to
It's really
one another.
I'm a genetic genealogist, so I look into people's ancestry, and so I often am inspired by the weirdness in people's family trees.
Joan, she knows more about my family than I do.
I did it too. I didn't ask. I just kind of went for it after you told me your dad's name or something. I'm like, okay, I can go with that.
It's like I know more about my own family now than I ever have because she dug up all this stuff.
Keep coming back, I keep singing this song. You learn to let go, so there's something left to hold on to. Like a cockroach
We haven't done this song yet, but I'm dying for us to do it. It's the Octopus Songs. Yeah. So I was at a trivia night in Dundas, and the question of the night was, how many hearts does an octopus have? And nobody knew, and I didn't know. And I left before the answer came. So I had to, like, later that night, it was still on my mind. I'm like, how many hearts does an octopus have? I looked it up, and it's 3 hearts. I'm like, there is a really good story in there. And is it a love story, a story about polyamory? What's it a story about? You know, but it's 3 hearts, 3 loves. And it winds up being, well, we'll play it for you sometime.
Plus, you found out everything about that octopus's family.
Like a cockroach crawling on the kitchen counter like a snake.
The stout.
The stout. I have the seltzer. It's called the Blood Orange Seltzer. It's friggin' delicious.
Amazing, right? Yeah, I have that as well. And it's
The jar is light up, which is excellent. It's got some orange and cherry in it. I love fruity.
Fox in a lair, bird in a nest, a den full of bears, so many thousands of fish in the sea. But I know this one's for me. Bang, bang.
Our website is troutlilyband.com, and all of our social media is at troutlilyband. So it's pretty easy to find us.
Hanky panky, loosey goosey, hang my neck right from my noosey. Bang bang, rabbit on the loose, shoot bang bang. Buzz buzz, bumblebee stomach is buzz buzz. Buzz buzz, bumblebee stomach is buzz buzz. Strangest thing I can't explain, when you come round it starts to rain. Buzz buzz, bumblebee stomach is buzz buzz. Here we go.